Well, welcome back. We should all have our 10 rows ready to go. If you lost count at any point, you may have noticed that you can see your knots and you can count them at any time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and you're ready to go. If you did 11, that's okay. If you did 12, a little bit big. If you did 9, take a minute and do one more, because what we're making here is the brim of the hat. And you're going to need about an inch of space once it's folded over. Now, on each pass, we've had a first row and a second row. We've done the second row by wrapping. This time we're not going to wrap in anything. Our second row is going to come from a different source. Reach your hand into the center of your hat and roll over the bottom edge. The bottom edge, all the way around, has two pieces of thread together. That was that first row that you did. Those two pieces are going to become your second row. So starting at the beginning with the nub, sort of stretch that first row out, find the two pieces of thread leading from it. You're going to bring that back, put it over the first nub, and that creates your second row. Right next to it, you're going to find two more, and two more, and you're just going to roll those two right over each consecutive nub all the way around. If you have any confusion about which of the strings they are, roll it all out, and it's the last two at the end, and they just kind of find their way into your fingers there. So you're going all the way around. The end of each of your original knots becomes the new row, and that's how we're going to make a brim. So keep on going. Find those, finesse them over the nubs. And if you get frustrated, you just push pause, roll it back, find out what we're talking about, those last two pieces of thread, rolling into your fingers, and you're pulling them over every nub, making that second row that we're going to need. This is the only time we'll be doing this. It is possible to make a hat without a brim, but the brim is a nice finish and it helps the hat to fit securely. So, now we've come to the end. We're at that starter little nub. Every one of our nubs has two rows on it. So now the move goes back to what we did at the beginning. Using your needle or your pick, just fit it into the groove, lift the first row closest to the edge, pop it over that second row that you just pulled up, and work your way around over every nub. This is tying the knot to the brim. You'll notice on the inside you've got this thickness to it. It's the only place on the hat that will be doubled in that way. But like I said, that's going to make a nice fitted cap. As you get creative with your knitting, you may choose to leave that off. It might stretch out just a bit, and the other thing that a brim does is in a minute it's going to let you hide that extra string that hangs down. We'll get to showing you that as we come to the end. So work your way around in the groove, up and over. Again, it doesn't matter which tool you use. That becomes a matter of personal preference or what you have laying around. We're coming to the end of the brim. Up and over, up and over. And that completes the brim. Use your same finger move, pulling everything down to the bottom of the knitter. Your strings are ready to go, and you're going to start working away from yourself, wrapping those 2 strings around every nub. And the balance of the work looks just like it did when we started. You'll find that you can get into a groove, work a little faster. If it pops off, it doesn't matter, because the only thing you'll lose is 1 row. It'll always stop where your last knot was at the nub. You grab it again, smile to yourself that it wasn't that bad. Your friends might laugh, but it's going to happen to them too. And you just work it around. As you approach that nub, you're going to get ready to tie it off so that it holds that place for you. Losing control of your yarn here is about the worst thing that can happen, but again, you only lose that 1 row. It takes about 20 seconds to gain it back. Tie it off for a second. Use your needle, up and over, and away you go. And from this point on, you're actually building the top part of the hat away from the brim. Now, we did 10 rows creating the brim. From here, you're going to do about 20 rows. And at the end of 20 rows, we're going to use a very similar move to tie the hat off. So again, I will leave you with some instructions. Just keep on knitting, keep on rolling, keep on working. Maybe find some back support if you're leaning forward. This part's going to take a while. Find a comfortable place for the balls of yarn. If you'll notice, mine rolled away a long time ago because I like to keep them between my feet and lean back on a sofa. Maybe some nice music in the background. I recommend working in good light. That's ideal, but you'll find out as you get good at this, you can almost do it in the dark. Alright, there's 1 row. Remember, we've got about 19 more to go now. And have at it. Keep on going. I'm going to work on this, and I'll be rejoining you, in about 25 minutes. So hang in there. Keep knitting.